Hello everybody, it's me again, Crazy Bag Lady. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm so hoping it's going to be useful for you. So most of you that do watch and follow my channel know that I normally do handbags and fashion and stuff like that and daily vlogs in England, but I also have another little passion, which is decorating, and I so love wallpapering and painting and decorating. And I took, many years ago, somebody taught me to wallpaper, so I've never had any proper lessons, I've never been to college, I've never done any professional wallpapering or anything like that. This is purely just my decorating guide. So I thought if you want to have a go at decorating your bedroom, feature wall, sitting room, whatever, this little guide may help you. So we'll try and have a bit of fun along the way because I don't like to be too serious. So I just hope that this little guide will be useful for you. So I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. I hope it pans out okay. So step one, my darlings, when you're decorating you have to put old clothes on. So I've got my old sort of stripy top on and my old jeans that I've got rips and paint and stuff on them. So it doesn't matter if you get wallpaper paste on them, not a problem, because wallpaper paste is a bit sticky and leaves like white marks and stuff. So you just want your old clothes on. But it's not nice to feel scruffy. So step one of my decorating guide, put some red lipstick on, makes you feel better. And there we go. Step one, apply some Avon Red Cream lipstick. Makes you feel so much better. So if you have to answer the door to the postman and you're covered in wallpaper slime, you'll be fine, you'll still look fabulous. So let's go get mixing that wallpaper paste. Right, step two, you need an old bowl. These are like the tools that you need to have. You need an old bowl or a bucket to mix your wallpaper paste in. Pardon me. And then you need your wallpaper paste, obviously. I've got Laura Ashley wallpaper paste because I've bought Laura Ashley wallpaper. You have to have your wallpaper ready. Make sure that when you buy your wallpaper, each roll has a batch number on. Make sure that all your batch numbers match, because when they're made, they are made on slightly different rolls, so the colour shade might vary slightly. So always make sure your batch number matches. So that's one. Let's just check the another one. I have got 4 rolls because when I... Oh, not to drop it. Oh dear, I didn't mean to do that. Because when I bought mine, I was going to decorate more walls than I am going to. So let's just check these batch numbers. So I only probably need 2 rolls, but I have actually got 4 at the minute. So whether I send 2 back. So they're the batch numbers. So they match. Yeah. So you also need a screwdriver in case you have to undo any plug sockets. Because you have to loosen them slightly to tuck the wallpaper behind them, but I'll show you that as we go along. Some sharp scissors. Some decorators do use massive long scissors, but I tend to use these little sharp ones just because these are just what I found easier as I've wallpapered along the years. You need a wallpaper brush, which you can get from any handy centre. It's like a soft sort of bristle brush. This is to put your paste onto the wallpaper. I have an old pot, it's just an old an old ice cream pot, that when I've pasted my wallpaper, you want something to put your brush in, just to rest it in while your paste is setting. You need a spoon, because in a minute we're going to mix the wallpaper paste. So this is an old spoon that I just keep in my decorating bag. And you need a measuring jug, because you've got to measure how much water to put into your wallpaper paste. You need an old cloth, which I'm going to wet, so that I've got a damp cloth on hand at all times, because you need to wipe the wall down when you've put the paper on the wall to get any spare paste off it, but we'll cover that as we go along. So that's my little decorating kit. So let's get this wallpaper paste mixed. It says on the back, standard wallpaper, 12 pints of water. I don't like my paste to be too runny, so I'm probably just going to put 11 pints of wallpaper in my paste. So you just sprinkle the you put the water in first, I think. Cold water. Yeah, you put all your water into your bowl and then you sprinkle your paste in and mix it up. So let's get this paste mixed. Right, while my paste is just mixing together, it takes 3 minutes to be ready. I forgot to say you have to have a step ladder as well if you're doing a full wall, because obviously you've got to get up high. So I've opened my first roll of wallpaper. I just checked my instructions. It does say when you put the wallpaper paste on, you have to leave it soak for 3 to 4 minutes. Whether this will pick it up, it probably won't. You have to leave the wallpaper paste to soak for 3 to 4 minutes, so I'll show you what to do in a minute. So you get your first roll of paper, and then you get up on your ladder. I'll just show you. I've got my wallpaper, so I've placed it on the floor. My floor is clean, so you get hold of your top piece and you pull it very gently. I'm going to go up my ladder. Ooh, it's hard to do it one-handed, hang on. So we're going up the ladder, we go right to the top. My dog thinks there's somebody at the door now and there isn't. So we push it right to the top of the wall and then we go down to the bottom. I'm going to get off the step ladder. So I just gently... Oh, it's harder than I think doing this one-handed. So what I do for my first piece, I just lift it slightly higher than I want it to be because I can trim it to size in a minute. So you make sure you've got an extra little bit at the top, like so. You can see that it's just a bit higher than it needs to be. And then I run my hand, let the wallpaper fall down with you very, very gently. You can see this. And then I work my way down the step ladder. And then I get to the bottom. And then I'm just going to snip a tiny little edge at the bottom, just a bit lower than my skirting board. Hang on. Florence, be quiet! Just a little bit lower than the edge of the skirting board. I'm going to snip it, and that's my marker of where I need to cut it. So I'm just going to do that now. There's my tiny snip, what I've just done. So I'll show you now how to do it so it cuts straight. Let me just turn the camera around. Right, to get a straight edge to cut your piece, what you do is roll your paper over and then you line up the top edge of the paper to the bottom edge of the paper, like so, and you run your fingers along it and it gives you a perfect straight edge. I'll just do a top view to show you. What you do, you fold your paper over, you line it up perfectly with the edge, like so, and then you run your hand along it, which then gives you this perfect line for you to cut along. You can just see my line. You probably can't see it on the camera, but I can see it. So that gives you a perfect, you see the crease? Gives you a perfect crease to cut along. So that's what you're going to cut now. So that'll be your first piece of paper that you need to wallpaper. So I'm just going to go and cut it. Right, so, and again you need a paste table. I forgot to say that, didn't I? Paste table, very important. So there's my paste already, brush in the pot ready for when you need to rest your brush after. So you literally just slap the paste on, right, so you get some on your brush and you just rub it up and down all over the paper. Pay special attention to get it onto the edges because obviously they need to stick the best because otherwise your wallpaper won't stick properly. So you just slap it on. Make sure you put plenty on, not too much, but plenty, and you do it all the way. So I'm just going to get on with pasting it. That's my first section pasted. So I've literally just folded it over on itself to then allow me to get to the last bit that I've got to paste. So I'm just going to get on and paste this next bit. I have to leave that now for 3 to 4 minutes for the paste to soak into the wallpaper. So I just need to make sure I've got my step ladders ready, my scissors ready, my little plumb bob, which is like a weight on a piece of string, which you hang down after you put your first piece up just to make sure it's straight, but I'll show you that in a minute. So we're just going to wait a couple of minutes. Right, I've got my wallpaper in my hand. So I'm going up my ladder. Make sure you've got your wallpaper the right way round, obviously, and the pattern the right way up. So let's get up this ladder. Up we go. You could probably not see me, but I'm just going to unpeel it so that it's the sticky side ready to put against the wall. And then line it up slightly higher near the ceiling, and then I'm going to push it into the corner. Just don't go round the corner, but push it nice and neat into the corner and come down. You have to be gentle with wallpaper, don't press on too hard. Push it down with your hands like so. I don't know if my camera's picking any of this up. I'm just going to move my step ladders in a minute. Trouble when you've not got much room because my bed's in the way. Right, so we peel this bit down, that's the bit that you had folded, and then just push it gently into the corner can move it once it's on the wall, but there's a knack to moving it, so you just have to be careful. And then gently push it down with your hands. Try not to crease it, because the creases are worse than anything. And just slide it down, and you sort of roughly look at it and think, well, it's pretty much straight, I think. Obviously, because it's your own house, you don't have to be super fussy, but you do want it to look quite nice and not too wonky. So I think that's pretty much on. So then I got my little plumb bob. I did make my own plumb bob, which is literally, it's just a great big stone on a piece of string, and I'm going to hang it up the side. I'll just get up back on my ladder and show you. Right, so as you can see, that's my wallpaper just slightly above the ceiling. We're going to poke it right into the edge in a minute. So slide it down, press it all the sort of side bits down, and then you get your plumb bob and you hold the piece of string right on the very edge, and then you have to wait for the stone to hang sort of straight. It does start rocking eventually, and then you should be able to see that is pretty much straight. It's slightly out a little bit, as you can see, but it's not too bad at all, so I'm quite happy at that. So you can see the string is level with the wallpaper. It doesn't look like it's level on the video, but it is. If I can hold it away, the string is level with the side of the wallpaper. So I'll drop my plumb bob out of the way, and then you just push your wallpaper gently with your hands, and it's literally just to make sure that it's all flat and all stuck down. The odd bit I need to put a bit of paste on. Look, can you see that's not quite stuck? So I'll get my brush in a minute and dab a little bit of paste. That's where I've not pasted right to the edge, so it's nice and neat into that corner. And then you literally just keep pushing it down with your hands very gently. Make sure your hands are clean, you've not got any lipstick or anything on them. And then you keep pushing it down, and then you've got to cut along your skirting board to make sure that that's level. So I've got my scissors ready. So what you do, I just poke my finger and run my finger along, which gives you a nice line. Don't press on too hard or you'll rip it. Then I get my scissors and just gently do it again with my scissors, but don't press on too hard, otherwise you rip it. And then I'm just going to snip along that edge now to give me a nice straight edge. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my first piece up. Dun 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 dun. And there we go, that's my first piece up. So as you can see, as I said before, look, there's these little bits just lifting up at the edge where they've not got enough paste on. So I'm just going to go and get my brush and dab a little bit of paste behind the little bits that are not quite stuck. So let's go and get the brush. That's why I said always have an old pot ready. So all I do, I get a bit of paste on my finger, like so, and then I'll put it on the bits where I've missed. Just poke it under with your finger. Like I say, this is no special guide or anything. This is just the little tricks that I've learnt along the way. I've never been paid for doing wallpaper or anything like that, so I'm not a professional. But I just wanted to prove to you that if you sort of think, oh, I couldn't do that myself, you really can. You really can, my dears. So you just poke the paste under, like so. I mean, you're not supposed to get paste on the front of the wallpaper, because if you do, it leaves a slimy, shiny residue after that you can't get off once it's dried. It's a nightmare. So just poke a bit up this top bit, like so. Make sure it's all stuck nice, because that gives you a nice join in a minute. And we've got to join the next piece to it. Then I've got my good old damp cloth, ta-da! And I just run it over it to get rid of any excess paste off the front of the paper, like so. Rub it down, and then also make sure you rub any excess paste off your skirting boards and the ceiling, because it'll strip your paint off if you don't. It makes your paint go flaky. So, and then that's it. That's my first piece done. We've done a first piece together, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. So now I've got to get my next piece of paper. So again, I shall hold it up work out where the pattern matches, and I shall just cut it again, top and bottom, and then paste it. So let's get the next piece of paper. Right, I've got my next piece in my hand and I'm up the ladder, so I'm just holding it up, but you just got to look where your pattern matches, and then you roll it up to the top, like so, and then you think, yeah, that pattern matches all the way. So we'll go down the ladder again, and we'll just rip a tiny bit near the very edge of the skirting board, just a bit longer than you need it, and then we'll cut our next piece. Right, I've marked it off again. See my little rip just there? So again, you fold the top over the bottom, a long line with your rip, so your rip's right on the very edge, and then you run your finger down it, like so, and then you can see where you need to cut. I do hope this little guide's useful. Right, and then you snip along it, like so. I've done a bit for the top and a bit for the bottom because there was quite a lot of spare paper on the top, and I didn't want to have to paste all the extra bit that I don't need. The trouble is with wallpapering, you do get a bit of waste, but that can't be helped. So I'll just find the next little mark, it's there. So again, you fold the top over the bottom, which gives you a perfect straight line. It's a good little trick. You go top over bottom and then run your finger down it. So, and that gives you that nice straight edge. So I'll get that bit cut and then we'll get it pasted. Right, that's piece number 2. I've just pasted it all. So I've got to leave it now for 3 minutes and then we'll get the next piece put up. Right, piece number 2. I've got it in my hand, just got to get back on the steps. What you've got to do this time, I don't know if you can see me, you've got to line up your pattern match. So you sort of cut it so you've got more or less what you need. So you come back up your ladder, then you open your paper up. I don't know if you can hear me with this, I'm a bit further away. And then you've got to slide your wallpaper. I don't know if you can see this, perhaps a bit far away, but you've got to slide your paper so that your pattern matches. So you slide it, don't slap it straight on, you've got to slide it into position just so it just matches up with your little pattern. You don't want it to overlap, you just want it to nudge up next to it. Now obviously the more you wallpaper, the better you get at it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but don't forget it's your wallpaper. You're not doing it for anybody else, it's just for your little house. So if you make a couple of mistakes, it really, really doesn't matter. You should be very proud that you're doing this yourself and trying it. So you literally slide it up, and you've got to do this all the way down, and you just sort of nudge it so it sits right against where it should be. And you have to keep getting up and down your ladder, and it hurts your knees, my knees are killing. And then you just slide down with your hand and sort of wiggle it into position. Now it's easier said than done, it is fiddly, I'm not going to lie, it's a pain in the neck. You do have to adjust it a bit. But like I say, because it's your own house, it doesn't matter if it's not 100%, but you just try your best. And don't forget that you have wallpaper, furniture and stuff that goes in front of it, so the odd little mistake, nobody ever notices, trust me. You go up and down your ladder, you get your damp cloth, and you smooth it over the paper. And we're getting there now. This is sort of going quite nice. I've used Laura Ashley wallpaper. I love Laura Ashley wallpaper. Very, very nice. You do kind of pay for what you get with wallpaper, so if it does cost a little bit more money, it does tend to go on better. And that's about it, my dears, and I just keep pressing it down. And then you just press it all down with your damp cloth. I'll do a close up to show you. So as you can see, you can just see the line, so you just gently rub it with your cloth. But as it starts to dry, your line does generally sort of disappear, so you can just see it, like so. And then obviously I've got to cut my top bit again. I've got to wipe it all down, But that is about my second piece on. So you can't really see the join, look, because it goes down. It's magic. So that's the next piece. I've just got to press it all down and then snip the top and the bottom, and that's the next bit done. And then you just keep rubbing it down, make sure you've got no air bubbles in it, and just gently slide your cloth across it. Don't press on hard or you'll rip it. You just keep your cloth nice and damp and just rub it, keep rubbing it down. Like so. There we go. Right, that's 2 pieces up so far. I'm trying to show it from a distance so you can get a better feel for it. So that's the second piece done. So we're getting along. We've got a bit more to do. Whoop. Now, piece number 3, we're going to come across plug socket, which, yes, it is in the middle of the wall, but years ago when we first moved in, we had that plug socket fitted because we used to have a cabinet there with a television on. We don't use it anymore. It's a pain in the neck, but it's still there, so I'm going to have to cut around it. So, next, step number 3, again, we're going to measure our next piece of paper, match the pattern up, snip the top and the bottom off the excess paper that we don't need. Then we're going to paste it, put it up and just cut around the plug socket. But before we do all that, it has just reached 11 o'clock, so let's get that kettle on and have a nice cup of coffee, because when you're doing your own wallpapering, there's no rush, so you can take your time and enjoy it. So let's get that kettle on. Coffee ready. Check. So I'm just going to have a little sip of this and get my next piece of paper cut, ready to go. Right, that's my next piece of wallpaper. I've just pasted it, so I'm just waiting for it to soak. So obviously, because I've got to tackle the plug socket, what you do, and please be super, super careful. You literally undo the screws just a tiny, tiny bit, just so that it loosens the plug socket. Don't ever poke anything behind the plug socket. You have to remember, this is electric, it is dangerous. So, oh my God, please just don't go and blow yourself up. So you just loosen it off so that when you get the wallpaper, you can just cut it and then you poke it behind it just a tiny bit. Plaster's not very good on mine, so I'm a bit dubious about it. So that's just loosened it. I don't know if you can see that, just loosened it a tiny, tiny bit. Just enough that we can poke the wallpaper behind it in a minute. So but I'll show you that as I get to it. So that's loosen it a tiny bit more. I always worry if you loosen it too much, you won't get it back together. Oh my God, the plaster's falling off around it. Oh. Right, so that's nice and loose. I should be able to get behind that. So you don't poke anything behind it. You don't poke your screwdriver behind it or anything. So please, if you get to plug socket, because you generally do when you wallpaper and there's normally a plug socket, please be very, very, very careful. So I'm just off to fetch my next piece of paper. Right, piece number 3. Oops. So I'm just going to get it put on. I'm going to line it up and then I'll show you how to cut around the plug socket. Right, I've just got my next piece on, but I just thought while I'm this close to the wall, I'll just try and show you about matching the paper up. I don't know if you can see, I hope you can. So we just slide it into position and you can just, don't overlap it, you just need to like buff it up to it. Like so. And that's how you match it up. And obviously you have to do that all the way down the wall and up the wall. So that's me little close up of me matching up. I think you can not see the lines a lot. Yay! Right, so I'm just going to rub it down and then we'll tackle the plug. Right, you more or less make sure your wallpaper's right and all lined up, and then let's go for it. It's a bit of a difficult one because it just finishes just past the end. So you sort of cut, you can feel the plug socket, so you cut across to the one corner and then across to the other corner. Ooh, I hate doing plug sockets. So you kind of open it up. I'm just trying to think where that bit's going to sit. I don't know if that's going to sit behind the plug or on top of the plug. Ooh, we better leave that bit anyway, just in case. So we'll leave that outer edge. So we come down and across. You kind of have to cut away the excess, but you have to leave enough that you can poke some of it behind the plug socket, if that makes sense. Don't forget, I'm not a professional decorator. These are just little bits that I've learned along the way. So that can come off a little bit more. It's really just common sense. Don't cut it too short and don't cut it too long and don't leave it too long. So you just poke behind the plug. Yeah, it's so fiddly. It's horrible. Like, my scissors are a bit short. I'll use my screwdriver, I think. Just gently poke it behind to try not to rip it. If you rip it, you rip it. It's one of them things you can sort of squash it back together if you do anyway. So poke that down, put that round it. Come. It's hard because you don't take the plug socket off the wall. You have to sort of work round it. Oh, it's a blooming nightmare. Right, that's that. And then this bit. It's so fiddly. Right, try and get this up. I don't know if you can appreciate this, but it's like we've now got to poke this long edge underneath it. And because I'm on camera, I'm probably doing this worse than I normally would. Normally not too bad. Just going to cut a tiny bit more off this edge. Because the less you have to poke behind it, the easier it is. So we've just got a little lip that we need to get to go behind the plug socket. Come on, Mr. Wallpaper, you know you want to go behind. Come on. Just poke, poke, poke. And like I say, don't poke your screwdriver behind it. And then you get it off. And there we go, we're more or less behind it. I've just got to tuck this underneath bit behind it. That's that. It doesn't help that the way the wallpaper has fell, that I need to still have this little edge showing because I've got to join my next piece up to it. So that's made it even more fiddlier than normal. Right. I don't want to bore you, but that is basically what you do. You just cut round your plug, leave a very slim edge and poke the tiny excess bit of paper behind the plug. I hope that was understandable. And there's the plug socket done. I don't think we've done too bad a job of it. So don't forget to tighten it up straight after so that you don't poke anything behind it and you keep it safe. So I've just got to tighten my screws up, cut the bit near the bottom, cut the bit near the top, wipe it down with a cloth, and that's the next piece done. That's piece number 3 done. I hope this is inspiring you to have a go yourself. So that's number 3. All nice and neat round the plug socket videos. Yep. So we've just got to get piece number 4 now, which is a pretty simple piece because it's not going to get to the next plug socket. So literally got to measure it, cut the top and bottom, paste it and get number 4 on. Right, my dears, piece number 4. Right, I've pasted it all so it's all ready to go on. So again, this piece should be quite easy because there's no plug sockets or door frames or anything to cut round. So I think this will be the last piece where it's easy. So again, you slide it into position and then slide it across. So make sure it doesn't overlap. Rub it down, and as you come down your step ladder, you unpeel your bottom half. Glide it down, and then again just gently push it into position. So I really hope this little guide's helping you. Even if I just inspire one person to wallpaper their wall, I will be over the moon. And that's it. We just work our way down like so. There's lots of pushing and shoving. And then you get your damp cloth. And like I say, you just rub it down. And that's it. I shall continue to do piece 4. I hope this is helping. Right, piece number 5 is just going to go on. Pretty much same again. It's just that I've got to cut around the plug, that's all. But everything else is just the same. put it on, slide it all down, match it up, cut the top, and then obviously cut around your plug socket, and then cut the bottom, wipe it all down. So let's get piece 5 done. Right, that's that piece finished. All nice and neat around the plug socket. It all went okay, everything's fine. So now we get to this bit and you're thinking, oh my god, like I only need a couple of inches of strip. So what I'm going to do, I'll measure it where it needs to be at the top and everything, and then I shall cut out a big section that I don't need. I know it's going to waste it, but we just don't need it. But I'm not going to paste it, I'll only paste the bit that I need. So I'm going to cut it out and then cut the bit out I need and paste it. So let's get on with the next bit. I'm just going to measure my little gap of how much paper I need. I've marked off the big bit that I need, so I'm just going to measure how much of the narrow bit I need. Got my little pink tape measure. So it's about 3 inch. So if I cut 5 inch, I know that I'm pretty safe with that and I've got enough to play about with. So I'm just going to measure 5 inch. My regular choice shoes come in handy sometimes. So that's the bit I've measured for the top. And then obviously I've got to cut 5 inch along this left hand edge, which is the bit that I need. And then I'm using my regular choice shoes as my markers. This is the Glamorous Girl's Guide to Decorating, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not gonna draw on my paper. But I'm just gonna roughly put it there, and then just gonna aim for 5 inches. There's number 5. There he is. So I'm just gonna go and cut this. I've made a real error. I've cut through my big top bit and I shouldn't have done. Oh my god, I'm so gutted. So what I'm going to do, so again, because it's my own house, it's not like I'm being paid to do this for anybody, so I'm still going to try and stick it and try and join it back together when I've got it on the wall. So wish me luck. I'm off to wallpaper paste it. Right, my dears, I've managed to join it back together. I think once I've got my wet cloth on it, it'll be fine. So as you get to the top of the corner of the door frame, all you have to do again is just little snips. So you just make like a little angle up towards the edge of the door. You can just feel it, and then you push it gently down like so, and then that allows this bit to free up, and then you can continue to work your way down into the door frame. So I'm going to slide that all the way down, and then we're going to cut it in a minute. So that's the door frame bit done. Right, that's my little fixed up bit. So you can't notice, can you? So again, across the top of the door, I'm just going to run my scissors along it to mark it, and then I will just cut along the top like I have done the skirting boards. And again, that little bit there. And then down the sides, again, I'll just get down off my little step ladder. I shall run my scissors along the inside edge, and then I shall fold it over and cut it, and then hopefully that'll be neat on the inside of the edge of the door frame. Right, we're getting there now. So that's the doorway all done and finished. Dun 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 dun. And then we've just got this last little bit in the corner, so that's only a tiny little bit. So I'm just going to measure up and cut my bit of paper. Right, we're just on the last corner, so I've poked it into the last bit, and then literally all you have to do again is run your scissors or your finger along the top of the door frame, which will give you your mark to cut along the top of your door frame. You do the same along the top, and then that gives you a bit more spare wallpaper to then push it into the corner, and then you'll slide your scissors down into the corner, and that will finish your wall. Woohoo! So I'm just off to do my last little bit. There we go. We're finished. Woohoo! So thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to push all my bed back, and then I'll stand back and show you the finished photo. Right, that's it all finished. Obviously, I've got to make my bed because my covers are in the wash. But yeah, that's it finished. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. So that was my little wallpapering tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Any questions, please pop them down below, and if I can help, I'll try, and I will. So thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been useful. I hope if I inspire just one person to go and wallpaper one room in their house, then I'll be over the moon, because it's just so, once you get going, it's so easy. And obviously I've shown you how to do the plug sockets and around the door frames and stuff, so you've got no excuse, my dears. So go and give it a blast. I used Laura Ashley wallpaper in Tayton design in truffle colour, which is like a pearlescent, so it does actually change colour with the light. It's a beautiful paper. It went on really well. It was really easy to use, so I can definitely recommend Laura Ashley wallpaper. It's brilliant. And they often have sales on as well, so they always have good savings on the wallpapers if you wait for the sale to come up. So thanks again for watching. So if you enjoy wallpapering and handbags and other fun, I do daily vlogs and I normally just sort of do handbag videos, then please subscribe to my channel and come and find me on Instagram and Twitter as Mrs Crazy Bag Lady. So thanks so much for sharing your day with me, and I hope this is useful to somebody. Let me know what you think. Bye!